let's go to Daniel chapter 7, which sort of revisits Daniel chapter 2, but offers a different perspective. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head while on his bed. Then he wrote down the dream, telling the main facts. Daniel spoke, saying, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven were stirring up the great sea. And four great beasts came up from the sea, each different from the other. Now, I'm going to spend time going through each of these beasts, but just to give you the footnotes, the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. And suddenly another beast, a second like a bear. After that, I looked, and there was another like a leopard, which had on its back four wings of a bird. A fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong. And again, I'm going to go through each of these individually. So to summarize, Daniel is in vision, and he's standing in front of the great sea. And he sees four beasts coming out of it in succession. And we know that because he uses words like first and after. Now, when we go to Daniel chapter 7, verse 17, those great beasts, which are four kings which arise out of the earth. So we know that these beasts represent kings. And similar to Daniel chapter 2, we see four types of metals representing kings. In Daniel chapter 7, verse 4, the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I watched till its wings were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand on 2 feet like a man, and a man's heart was given to it. It's no secret that the lion was the symbol of Babylon. The Ishtar Gate, literally the entrance into the city, featured lions on it. If you tear off the wings of the lion, it no longer conquers. But not only that, we're told that this lion stood as a human and was given a human mind. Instead of being a conquering beast, it then became civil and was able to reason. And then we're told in Daniel chapter 7, verse 5, and suddenly another beast, a second like a bear. It was raised up on one side and had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth. And they said thus to it, arise, devour much flesh. So we know that this is another beast that comes after the first one. If Babylon is the first beast, this second beast, the bear, comes after Babylon. Overnight, in one night, the Medes and the Persians overtake Babylon. We see that this bear is raised up on one of its sides, and it matches the silver that is inferior to the gold, that this next kingdom will be inferior to Babylon. But also, it's the combined power of the Persians and the Medes. So one half of the kingdom would then be greater than the other. And we know that the Persians overtake the Medes. And we also see that 3 ribs are in the bear's mouth. The Persians will conquer Egypt, Lydia, and Babylon, adding it to their empire. Daniel chapter 7, verse 6. After this I looked, and there was another like a leopard, which had on his back 4 wings of a bird. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. And if we jump ahead to Daniel chapter 8, we know that it would be Greece that would conquer the Medes and the Persians. So then this leopard represents the kingdom of Greece. Now we're told that this beast has 4 wings like a bird. So this is a extremely swift conqueror. In 10 years, Alexander the Great will conquer all the territory from the Medes and the Persians. We're also told that this leopard has 4 heads on it. 4 heads could only symbolize 4 rulers. 4 heads of the kingdom. Daniel chapter 7, verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong. It had huge iron teeth. It was devouring, breaking in pieces, and trampling the residue with its feet. It was different from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. So we know that this 4th kingdom will come after Greece. And the only kingdom that dominated after the Greek Empire was the Roman Empire. So we're told that this 4th beast combines the 4th and 3rd metals that we see in King Nebuchadnezzar's dream, iron and bronze. Identifying this kingdom as Rome, we can also refer to it as the Greco-Roman era or pagan Rome. So let me offer this brief summary. The metals in Daniel 2 and the beasts in Daniel 7 are related. The head of gold is the lion with wings. The chest and arms of silver is the bear with ribs in their mouth. The belly and thighs of bronze is the leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads. The legs of iron is this dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong beast with 10 horns. We're also told that the subsequent empires after Babylon will be inferior to the ones before it. But what does that mean exactly? Let's look at the Babylonian Empire. So this is the first massive empire that we see in the world. Power was centralized within a single monarch. The monarch served as judge, jury, and executioner. After Babylon, you have the Medo-Persian Empire. Now, Cyrus the Great was not just called great because of his military conquest, but because of his form of government. He divided power between the civil and military leaders. In other words, the military leaders could not produce the funding to stage a coup against their king, and civil leaders did not have the military control to take over the kingdom. And this is the origin of the separation of powers that we even use today. Under Darius the Mede, you have the ordinance of good relations, the idea that nobody is above the law, not even royalty. And this is why Daniel, who was one of the governors under the Medo-Persian Empire, could not even receive pardon from the lion's den, despite being a royal officer. So just between Babylon and Medo-Persia, we see a division of power within the next kingdom, which did allow Medo-Persia to exist longer than Babylon. But then they will be overtaken by Greece. So every empire after Babylon becomes weaker in terms of power, but because of that also maintains its strength. And I'm going to end the video right there, just going over the interpretation of the beasts and the metals, just establishing what these four kingdoms are. Because in the next video, I'm going to talk about the 10 horns and the little horn that appears from among the 10 horns within this fourth empire.